Today's recipe is mutton sukha.
So the meat I've put in here, and I'm just going to cook the meat first. A high flame, as hot as it gets. Let the water come out and let it cook in its own water, its own juices, the fat. I've used a little bit of oil, very little. And that's it. That's what I'll do first, after which I shall then make my drink and everything. So when I say first, it's literally first thing. Okay, as you can see here, the meat has like changed color. It's become gray now, and it's releasing all its water. So I'm going to wait for that water to be completely released from the meat, and then for it to dry up before I add the salt and the turmeric, and then let it cook for about 40-45 minutes till it sort of softens. Basically I want it like 80-90% cooked, so because the rest we'll do when we fry the meat with all the masalas and all that. Okay, as you can see, the water is pretty much dried up, so I'm now adding the turmeric and the salt. I'm just adding a bit of salt right now. I'll sort of add the rest of it later, and I'm going to just mix it all up and then let it cook for a long time. So just mixing the salt and the turmeric and the meat all very well. The water's all dried up now, and so I'm going to add water. I'm going to just try and cover the meat with the water. So and now the meat is by and large covered by the water and mixed all well. I'm going to bring this to a boil, and once it's boiling, I'm just going to cover it and let it cook, slow cook for about 45 minutes or so. And meanwhile I'll keep checking for water, because I don't want the water to run out completely. It has to cook in that. I don't want it sticking to the bottom and burning. So so now that it's come to a boil, I'm turning the heat down. I'm going to cover it and let it cook. I'll come back now and then to check that there's enough water, but basically about 45 minutes or so, enough time to get myself a drink now finally, because before we do the main action I need to get the dimag ka batti going. So it's been about 10-12 minutes. Just adding a bit of water, and I'd like to add hot water. Just whenever there's meat cooking, once it starts cooking, I always prefer to add hot water. Not necessary that you have to do that, but supposedly a good idea. So I've added just a little water, and I'll come back again and check in 10 to 15 minutes. So here's the various whole spices. There's the red chilies. I've got the two types of dried red chilies. There's the Kashmiri chilies, which are not very spicy but add a nice flavor and color. And then there's a couple of these red ones that are spicy. And there's the curry leaves, the kadi patta. There's the cinnamon, the cloves, black peppercorns, fennel seeds, cumin seeds, and coriander seeds. What I'm going to do is I'm going to dry roast them and then crush them into a powder, masala powder, which we will use once the meat is cooked and we get to the second phase. So I've got this on a low heat, and I'm just going to put all of these things except the kadi patta, which I will put in later. Everything else goes in right away, and I'm just going to dry roast them for a bit till the aromas start coming, the seeds start popping and crackling, and towards the end I'll add the curry patta, the curry leaves. and I'm doing this on a slow flame, don't want them to burn, and there's lots of time. The mutton is cooking on the back burner, so it's still cooking, it's on a back burner, slowly cooking while I do this. So now I've added the curry leaves and just waiting for them to start releasing their aromas along with the rest of it, and we'll have our lovely masala powder ready for the meat. So here are the rest of the ingredients. There's the onions finely chopped, there's the coriander leaves chopped for the garnish, there's ginger and garlic paste, and the masala that we just cooked, my drink, and curry leaves and green chillies slit down the middle. The oil is now pretty hot. I've taken just enough oil to cook the onions and garlic, etc., because our meat already has its own oil, its own fat, and it's got a lot of water also, so we don't, we're just going to use a little bit of oil to cook these onions. I want them to get slightly browned, not very, but a little bit brown. And yeah, so I've got the heat on medium high right now, and we'll slowly add one by one everything, then the meat and so on. The onions are now beginning to get a little golden brown, which is the color I want them at. So I'm going to now add the kadi patta and the green chilies slit down the center. You can use julienne them if you want to, not a problem. See, I got the word in. And now I'm going to add the garlic paste and the ginger paste. Reduce the heat a bit while I mix these in, and I'm going to cook all this till the raw smell of the chilies, the kadi patta, the ginger and garlic go away. So it's been cooking for about 3 or 4 minutes. Everything is nicely done. Time to put in our main ingredient, the pre-cooked meat. Specks are formed, and what I'm going to do on high heat, I'm going to let a lot of that water evaporate, and then I'll add some more water because I want to cook it for about 10 to 12 minutes. And so I'll add water depending on what consistency I want right at the end. And it's come to a boil pretty quick because everything was already hot, and so I'm lowering the flame and going to add our masala inside. And mix it all in, and then we just watch it cook. As you can see, we've got a nice brown, reddish brown color come up, and so I'm going to start now boiling away the water, and let it sort of get absorbed with all the masalas into the meat, while my body absorbs some more of this. So now I'm getting this lovely aroma of all those masalas that were roasted and ground, and the kadi patta is also so I'm going to just let it, I'm going to cover it and let it simmer away for some time. Then I'll add some water and we'll take it from there. I'm going to add a little bit of water, hot water again, and again just let it cook some time. I'm guessing I'll finish this drink and we should be ready by then. And we'll just garnish and ready to serve. Looks like our Bombay winter has gone just like the Border Gavaskar trophy. It's gone after 10 years, winter after 10 days. And we're almost pretty much done here now. Just need to garnish it. And yeah, that's it. We're done. I'm just going to cover it, let it sit for about 5 minutes. Always let things rest, especially meat and humans. All need rest. Unlike what those corporate honchos say, work, 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 70 hours, 90 hours, 200 hours a week. Nah, rest. Let the meat rest. Let the humans rest. Drink to me like I drink to you.